Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be doing tier list review, and of course, like always, I like doing these videos just so we can come together as a community to share our thoughts and just our opinions overall on where characters should be placed. But before we get into today's video, I would love to know if you guys actually pulled for Aglaea yourselves, or if you're actually planning to skip her and for who. Lastly, if you enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. So here we are with the new Prydwen tier list, which just got updated for the release of Aglaea. And also, I know I look a little different today. I just got this little PNG drawing of me done, and it's just so freaking cute. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use it for this video. It's like I'm pointing at the tier list, if you will. But we are gonna be going over the changes, which if I'm not mistaken, there's actually not that many changes today. So maybe this video will be a little shorter. Real quick, let's go over the categories and tags that were updated. As you guys can see, there is a partner tag, which let me just highlight it. There we go. Which this partner tag is to basically say a character is incredibly reliant on being paired with one specific character in order to function at the highest level. Characters marked with this tag will perform one, but sometimes even lower tiers, lower than what they are listed on the tier list without those characters alongside them. If I were to give a suggestion regarding this, which I don't inherently think it's a bad tag to add, I would actually maybe put a note somewhere on the character. So for example, as you guys can see, Acheron has partner, which I'm sure is probably in reference to Jiaoqiu, as Jiaoqiu is one of Acheron's best partners for what he enables for her. What I would personally recommend is if a character has this tag, I would put somewhere like a little asterisk, I don't know, like somewhere where I'm hovering over them that says where they would be placed otherwise, I guess in Prydwen's eyes, if they did not have this partner. And I think then there could be a bit more debate potentially. So for example, if Acheron is tier 0.5, assuming Jiaoqiu is on the team, but then let's say no Jiaoqiu and then she drops down, I personally would like to see where they would drop the character down, just so people can have a more firm opinion on this particular tag right here. That's just kind of my personal opinion regarding the tag. I don't think it's inherently a bad thing. I think it could be valuable to a degree, just to, I guess, give a little more context regarding a character's value with or without a unit. But that's just my personal opinion. I would just kind of show where this character would be otherwise without their partner. As for the changelog though, let's look at that real quick. So they mentioned with Aglaea, they added the partner tag, which we just went over my opinions on that. They are aware some characters are also ranked too high, or rather rated too high. And with that being said, we want to avoid repositioning a character incorrectly to ensure we want to wait for the next phase of Pure Fiction, currently underway, and Memory of Chaos coming soon to make major changes. Okay, so our next tier list review is probably going to have way more juicy things, just to give my opinions on where I guess they're making these major changes. But it's primarily Sunday and Aglaea that have placements, which when they are talking about Aglaea, Aglaea can be as one of the strongest damage dealers in the game when it comes to raw numbers, making her quite a threat, especially in her best game mode, Memory of Chaos. With that said, similar to past character releases, we decided to commit a conservative placement for her initially. We're confident that Aglaea has what it takes to reach the tier 0 ranking under ideal conditions, and they're saying that we should expect an update on the state of Aglaea shortly after her release. So if I'm going to guess, I would assume maybe in 3.1's tier list once we get Tribbie, we're probably going to get an update for Aglaea. I wouldn't be surprised in MOC, because as you guys can see in MOC, she's 0.5 right now. Would not be surprised if she jumps to tier 0. And then with Sunday, he also did jump up, and then they added the partner tag, Acheron with Jiaoqiu, Aglaea Sunday, Tingyun on Sunday. Oh, and they also said, let us know what you think about the partner tag. I would love if you guys in the comments below, let me know what you guys think about this tag specifically. If you think it's a good addition, or if you guys think it's kind of not the greatest addition that should go back to what it was before. But regardless, let's now look at the tier list, and there's literally only 2 changes from what it looks like if I'm looking here. Yeah, they literally didn't change anything. It's just adding Aglaea and then moving up Sunday. I do agree with the fact if you have a very powerful Aglaea, and I have seen some people show off E0, S0 Aglaea with this 3-star Lycon right here, and they were actually still able to 0 cycle the current Memory of Chaos, which can definitely go to show just how powerful Aglaea can be when you have a very powerful build on her. Now, I did say this in my previous videos, and I still personally have this opinion. I do personally think she is a bit more on the expensive side when it comes to just what type of team she highly takes advantage of, what you may potentially want to look into when it comes to just how much quality of life her E1 is going to give her, how powerful her signature light cone can potentially be on her, which that light cone does actually increase her base speed. And this now allows you to have an easier time reaching certain speed thresholds. So let's say, for example, you wanted to do Aglaea at 162 and Sunday at 161 right behind her, then they're both very fast. If you want to do this, having her signature light cone adds that build quality of life where it makes it easier to be able to achieve this speed threshold. And once again, as I said, while she can still get very low cycle clears even at E0, S0, what is very notable, at least with the videos I've seen so far, is that the builds are incredibly good. Like, Aglaea has an amazing amount of speed, the supports are very, very fast, or they're just very finely tuned for the showcase, which it just goes to show there's incredible potential one can have when they are using Aglaea, which is why I would say when it comes to just her as a character, she definitely has the potential as well as power to be a tier 0 character. And even once again, 1.5 is not a bad placement, as this is still part of the Apex character category. As I said a little bit ago, she is still a bit of an expensive character. So when you are thinking of, for example, of premium Aglaea team, you may be taking a look at Sunday, you may be taking a look at Robin, Huohuo over here. RMC is really nice for her as well, especially if you have proper speed tuning and being able to get Mems charged at the right times. This can be amazing when it comes to taking advantage of the true damage for Aglaea. And Aglaea just has multiple partners that you could definitely take advantage of. I have seen some actually use Bronya with Aglaea. I have seen Tingyun. I actually just put out a pretty fun showcase of Aglaea alongside Fei Xiao, and that was a pretty fun video. But overall, Aglaea highly takes advantage of team members who are able to give her energy, as she does have a massive energy cost of 350. So to be able to retain Supreme Stance for as long as possible, when you use her ultimate again, it will reset that countdown. Characters like Sunday and Huohuo are very, very nice for this. Now, I have actually tested out Aglaea with only one of them. For example, only Aglaea and Sunday, what I did was put Gallagher with Kudaproko. I noticed this was okay in my personal opinion. I also did the same with Huohuo, where I used Aglaea, Robin, RMC, and then Huohuo together. And I did actually showcase this on my channel, and the showcase went just fine in my opinion, but I will note that I was very close to exiting Supreme Stance at one point in the fight. So keeping that in mind, it still involves a good amount of fine tuning when you are playing her, but there is no doubt that she's an incredibly powerful character overall. She definitely can feel quite expensive though when it comes to trying to achieve her full potential, if you will. Real quick for MOC, Sunday went up to tier 0, which I definitely predicted this. I believe in my last 2 showcases, I believe he was in 0.5, and I definitely mentioned how I believe when Aglaea comes out, he is definitely going up to tier 0. He is a very, very powerful partner for her due to the fact that he's able to provide her crit rate, crit damage, the 100% advance forward for not only her, but also her Memo Sprite, which is the garment maker. And then of course, being able to provide her 70 energy each time he uses ultimate, as 40% of 350 is 70. So Sunday will be providing her 70 energy, which is pretty huge for being able to assist with potentially using her ultimate again before her countdown occurs, which now allows you to retain Supreme Stance for longer and keep all of your speed stack. So because of that, Sunday definitely I feel like is worthy of now being in this tier 0 in my personal opinion. Oh, he also gives a damage buff as well. Forgot to mention that one, but the damage buff, the crit damage and the crit rate definitely helps out when it comes to just ease of building. When it comes to your characters, also of course he's able to work nicely with other characters as well when it comes to just being able to amplify their damage output, and of course being able to provide them very nice crit stats. So overall, I do think he is worthy of this placement right here. So real quick, we can also just quickly go over Aglaea and the other modes. Now, Aglaea tier 2 in Pure Fiction, I do actually think I disagree with this one. I do think she could be higher. The reason I say this is because I was actually able, and I did this on stream, so this quality is probably about to look absolutely horrible, but I'm sorry guys. I did this on stream though, so I'm just grabbing this from my stream right now, but I was able to get 40,000 points with Aglaea on the first side, I believe it was, of the newest Pure Fiction. Now granted, what I will say though is my Aglaea was using her signature Lycone, and this tier list is E0 S0. But I did mention earlier that there are numerous showcases showing Aglaea with that 3-star Lycon I showed a little earlier, and she still is able to perform very nicely, especially if you are able to nicely fine-tune your team and just your builds in general, so that she's able to reach a high level of potential. So let's say I didn't have the signature Lycon, I'm not too sure if I'd still be able to reach those 40k points. I could definitely see her at least getting the 30,000 you would want on the first side. So because of that, I do feel like honestly she should be a bit higher. I would love to know, for those that have tested Aglaea in pure fiction, what are your personal opinions regarding that? Regarding her playstyle, she is able to just deal a lot of damage. And while the damage may not be, let's say, 1,000,000 per joint attack, due to how frequently she's attacking enemies with her joint attack, that ends up adding up very quickly. And as a result, she's able to just dish out absurd amounts of damage, which is really incredible to see just how fast she can get due to her getting those speed stacks in battle. And once she, of course, uses her ultimate, now she's able to take advantage of those speed stacks as well. Overall, she's a very powerful character, especially if you do have some of her best partners on your account. You'll nicely be able to take advantage of the potential that she is able to offer as a main damage dealer. But I think that'll honestly be it for this tier list review. It was a little different than usual. I mainly make these videos just to share my opinions, but I also want to hear your opinion regarding where you think characters should be and why. It's just very fun conversations in my opinion. But I think that'll honestly be it for today. Next tier list, once again, should be a bit more juicy, as they said they are going to make way more changes from what it looked like. And that'll be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, do consider subscribing, leaving a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.